Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a bar for all of your city building needs. In this video, I will show you how to make the entire outside and inside of the bar. This bar is quite interesting. It's almost like 3 separate builds in one. On the ground level, we have a regular bar and some toilets. Moving up to floor number 2, we have a more fun atmosphere, pool tables, arcade machines, and a mini bar. And finally, on the 3rd floor, we have something that is a little bit closer to a nightclub with a DJ and dance floor. Thank you to everybody that left a comment suggesting that I make a build like this. You guys know I love those suggestions. Keep them coming. Including a handy grid, which you can choose to copy if you'd like, that will show you the starting position. And here are some of the materials that we will use throughout the build. However, we will also need all of these materials as well. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Begin by placing 4 polished deep slate on top of each other. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place 2 glass block to the right. 1, 2. Then place 5 polished deep slate right of the glass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Join all the way down to the ground. Then continue extending backwards from this 5th block by 2. 1, 2. Place 3 dark oak slab extending back. 1, 2, 3. Then place 4 polished deep slate. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to extend the 4th deep slate to the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to extend backwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we want to extend all the way across the back of the build and join all the way to the front of the build. We also want to extend down almost all of the deep slate that we have placed all the way down to the ground, and these will form the walls for the 1st floor of the bar. We, of course, don't want to extend these slab blocks down, however, the blocks either side, including these ones next to the entrance area, we do. And whilst we're here, why don't we add some glass pane just underneath these blocks, and you can also just add some glass pane either to the right or left side of this entranceway. Whilst we're here, why don't we also add some polished deep slate slab across the top of the entrance, and 2 rows of 3 red concrete directly to the right as well. This sits in the middle of this area, right of the entrance. Next, we are going to place a row of 10 white concrete on top of this block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We then want to extend to the right by 3. 1, 2, 3. Extend all the way down, and then join back on ourselves. We then want to extend to the right along the top of the deep slate, extend all the way up, and join back, like this. We are going to fill this left area in here with tinted glass. And this area to the right, we are going to place, I'll give you a choice, either black concrete or polished deep slate. I kind of prefer black concrete myself, but either way it looks great. I have tried both. Next, we are going to extend all of our rows of white concrete along the deep slate outline of our building. Next, we are going to dig in the ground from here all the way to here, and we will backfill this with black concrete. We then want to place rows of glass on top of our black concrete, extending all the way up the side of the build, stopping one row short from the top. And then we are going to do this all the way along the top of our black concrete. And eventually we will be able to fill the top in once we have extended all of those rows upwards. Next, we are going to further extend the roof upwards. On top of this white concrete, we want to place 2 more. 1, 2. On top of this white concrete, we place 2 more. 1, 2. And then on the back of the building, here, 1, 2. And here, 1, 2. We then want to connect all of these rows together to form a rectangle. And there we go. We are going to leave the roof like this for now. We will fill it in later. Next, we are going to place azaleas along the right side of this glass, starting here. Azalea, gap, azalea, gap, azalea, gap, azalea, gap, azalea. You can even place one here too, if you like as well. We are then just going to remove the grid at the front here and replace this with smooth stone. This is the minimal amount of floor space that you need to make this build. You can of course extend pavement around it, but that's a personal sort of thing. We are also going to add a decorated pot here with a flower pot inside of it and a fern inside of that. And now we are going to make the sign for the bar, which is made by throwing down loom, opening it up, white banner in there with black dye. First, we have to make the letter B. So Pale Dexter, Pale Sinister, Chief, Fess, and Base. That's B. Next is A. So Pale Dexter, Pale Sinister, Chief, Fess. Lastly, R. Pale Dexter, Chief, Bend. Just like this. And we can take these banners, not there, and we can throw them onto our red concrete area like this, with glow item frames either side, and later on we may fill those item frames in with some colourful glass. Next, we are going to add some plant life to the front of our bar by placing grass block here, with spruce trapdoors in front, ferns inside, and then we will leave a gap of 1, and then place another row of grass block, trapdoors underneath, and in front, ferns inside, and then once again we will leave a gap of 1, place our grass, trapdoors underneath and in front, with ferns inside to give us this. With that final detail added, we can now head inside and start working on the interior. Starting by placing a row of polished deep slate extending from this block all the way over to the left. We want to divide the first floor up into 2 separate rooms. So this first area is the bar area, behind is the toilets. So let's remove all of the grass from the toilets and replace it with chiseled quartz. We also want to make the entrance, it's easiest if we just head out here and remove these blocks, this one too, place a chiseled quartz, and let's stick a door here as well. So these are toilets. We are first of all going to add a cauldron all the way over here in this corner with an oak trapdoor on top, and then we will place 2 rows of 2 grey concrete to the right of it. So we're making stalls essentially, so we will keep repeating this until we extend all the way over to the right. And this is a good place to stop, because if we keep repeating this then we won't have any room. So we'll have 3 in total, 1, 2, 3, and some of these we can leave up and down. It doesn't really matter too much. You can stick doors on them if you like. I'm not going to. On the right side, we are going to make a kind of trough sink by placing backwards facing smooth andesite stairs, a tripwire hook here, a stone button here, and a flower pot here. We then want to place a hopper here on this wall, and I'm going to throw down loom, open it up, white banner in there with light grey dye, apply the chief pattern, and then I'm just going to stick this on the wall, maybe like here, a little bit lower down, or yeah, there will do, and maybe even here as well. Heading out of the toilets now, we are going to remove all of the grass from the ground level of our bar. And we are going to replace the floor with a checkered pattern of white concrete powder and black concrete powder. And this will persist into this hallway as well. I would always recommend adding one colour of the checkered pattern, followed by the other afterwards. I think that's just a bit easier. We are also going to add the ceiling. This is really simple. You see where we placed these dark oak slabs earlier? Well, this is the ceiling line. We simply just want to fill the ceiling in with dark oak slabs specifically. Not blocks, slabs. And the same goes for the roof of the bathroom as well. Next, let's work on the bar area. Begin by placing a row of dark oak planks across the bottom of this wall. We also want to remove these slabs and these blocks and replace these with dark oak planks, just like so. We are going to place barrels here on the right side, and not barrels here on the left. We are going to place a brewing stand here, and we will place item frames behind it, and potions inside of the item frames. We want to have what is meant to be a TV here. This is my favourite painting for this purpose. Do feel free to change it if you don't like it. And I'm going to stick a couple of flower pots along here too. We are then going to place another row of dark oak planks. You can use either planks or slabs. And then we will have an item frame here, a flower pot here. We will then litter the area with different colours of candles, just because they look like different cans and such, like this. And we'll have two bar stools, one here and one here, which are made with dark oak fence with pressure plates on top. And then on the end of the bar, a flower pot with a fern in it, or maybe even a lantern. We could still have a lantern if we wanted to. And I also want to place some beetroot seeds in this item frame. And along this back wall, we're just going to have some seating. So you could have like two sets of seating, like this, if you wanted to, or you could go for kind of like a booth. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. I originally had a booth, but let's go for this because why not? And then we can just have a painting on the wall here. So something like that would look fantastic. Oh, and originally I had a lever and a tripwire hook on these kegs as well, although to be honest, I don't think they need it. If you would like to be able to access the bar, other than throwing yourself over it, you can remove these two blocks here as well, and well, there you go. Then you can pretend to be a bartender. Or serve yourself drinks, whichever you like. Next, we are going to make our stairs so that we can work on the second floor of our bar. Begin by placing a mangrove stair here, and extend it up towards the back of the build. Place a mangrove plank here, and here. Remove these two blocks, and this is the entrance into the second floor. In this corner, we have a minibar. Begin by placing dark oak planks here, with a brewing stand here, flower pot here, and a couple of barrels here. Place a tripwire hook here, a lever here, and item frames along this wall with different potions in them. We then want to place a series of note blocks across the top of this, leave a gap of one in front, and then we will place a row of dark oak planks like so. We then want to place a flower pot here. We then want to place a dark oak fence here, dark oak pressure plate, and we can place either a variety of candles or a lantern or an item frame with some seeds in it, whatever you like. Oh, and above these note blocks here, we are going to place dark oak planks, which will actually form the third floor above us. So why don't we place all of that now, and then we know where our parameters are as we start filling in the remainder of this floor. Next, we are going to connect these black concretes down to the ground and place a red concrete here, next to it a yellow, and then a lime. Leave a gap above all of these, like so, and then we will place some 1x1 paintings in between these blocks. A nice selection with buttons in front and levers on top of these, and there we just have some simple arcade machines. Next, we are going to make some pool tables. We have 2 of them in the bar. The first of which is over here. We will place 1, 2, 3 lime concrete or any solid block here and add another row next to it, and then place some spruce trapdoors around these, and I'm going to flip these up. The lime concrete can get deleted because it was just a set of guiding blocks, and inside here we will have a birch sign, oak sign, and birch sign, oak sign, and then we can green carpet all of these signs and the floor, just like this. And then we are going to leave a gap like so. And then we are going to place another pool table. So we want to leave a gap of 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then we will place our pool table here. And once again, we will surround it with spruce trapdoors. And then remove the blocks in the middle. Then add our signs. And then we can add our carpet. Let's add some brown carpet in between the pool tables and just along the back here. I'm also going to add some paintings on the walls as well. So like, I think I'll add some 1x2s here and here. And I'm thinking about even adding some windows as well. So 1 here, opposite the pool table, and here and here, so you can see how these coincide. We'll make them as big as the window on the front, so it kind of matches a little bit better, and we'll fill this all in with tinted glass. This bar was kind of designed in mind for kind of like a corner plot. So like if you had a city street, this would be on the corner, something would be behind it this way, and something would probably be next to it this way. But if you were kind of building it by itself, or next to a building that wasn't quite tall, then you would be able to have the configuration of windows that we've just set out. But if not, it doesn't really matter that much. And we're going to stick a lantern here. And that might be it. I mean, we could stick another picture on this wall. So just another 1x2. I think that we've got the trifecta. That's fantastic. And then in this corner, we'll just have a seat. So you could have like a booth like this. I think that looks okay. Or you could just have like a bunch of individual seating. But I figured something a bit more chill. You could even have kind of like a seat here as well. Next, let's head out back into the hallway and make another set of stairs so that we can work on the third and final floor. I'm also going to replace this deep slate with a mangrove. And now let's place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stairs, mangrove plank here, and then we can break into the final floor, and we are also going to replace that with a mangrove as well. And the first thing that we are going to do in here is smooth off this wall. So we're just going to place some white concrete here, and we can even fill this little mini roof section in with white concrete as well. Next, we will place 4 rows of black concrete extending out of the bottom of this wall. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we will extend these across. We then add white concrete along the back row. Extend the left and right side up and join together at the top. And then add an extra row on the right. And then we want to add a bunch of these paintings inside of this alcove. We then want to add Glow item frames left and right of this with different colours of glass inside. I like to turn them this way as well. I think that this looks pretty cool. Next, we are going to make a banner, throw down a loom, open it up, grey banner in there with some black dye, and apply the bourgeois indented pattern. We will use this in combination with note blocks, which we will place here and here. And then we will stick these on the note blocks. A smooth stone in between the middle of these, and sideways facing blast furnaces. Item frame here, music disc here, repeater here, comparator here, mess with them just a little bit. I like to have this lit up, and you can even face it the other way as well so that the light is kind of projecting outwards. I quite like that. Next, we are just going to add a stair here so that we can easily get up onto the stage. And then I am going to lay out a set of carpet on the floor as kind of like a bit of a dance floor. So I'm only using 5 colours. It's actually a little bit easier with more. I would highly recommend using more. Like I said, it's a lot easier this way, but it's okay. You can still get by with this many. And I'm just trying to have kind of like an interesting colour combination like this. Just nice and colourful. You could even have it so that it kind of like sits more directly against where the stage is. So the stage is not centered in the room. So you could have it kind of like directly in front of the stage, and then you could have something here, maybe some like additional speakers or something if you did want to. I think that this looks pretty good. Next, I'm going to lay out some torches on the wall. So the torches are kind of just going to sit in the middle of this carpeted area like this, and it's just going to match on both sides. So just like so. You could even add windows as well. I'm not sure it really fits the vibe to have windows up here, but they are tinted glass, so it's not necessarily like a bad thing, but you could have some windows on the side if you did want to. We could also have some paintings on this wall as well. I'm thinking like in between the torches, so like maybe like some more of these. You're kind of limited in paintings here, but some of those, or maybe some 1x1s, or maybe none at all. Like I said, maybe you could just stick some more speakers on the ground as well if you wanted to. That might be cool actually. I kind of like the idea of having like a couple of extra speakers on the ground as well. We are going to drop some armor stands on the dance floor. We're going to pack this rather tightly. And then we can outfit every single one of our armor stands with some sort of head and some form of clothing. So just for easiness sake, I'm just going to go with about, I don't know, 12 Steve here, however many there are. But it would make more sense to have a bit more of a variety and also make them a bit more colourful. That'd be really cool actually if all of these had just like nice colourful clothing on. And next we are going to head up to the roof and we will fill the roof completely in with black concrete. So the black concrete sits in between the open layer between the parallel rows of white concrete. You'll see in a second where I mean. So just like this is really cool. And I also like the idea of having some like strobe lighting inside of our little dance party as well. So we would pick a couple of places for this, 2 or 3 places. I'd recommend like towards the back here, so maybe something like somewhere like this maybe, and towards the front, so maybe somewhere like this. And we just place a couple of lamps like so, black concrete here, we place a redstone repeater here, and then we place redstone dust here, here, here. And then we extend out to our other lamp. And if you want them to be a little bit asynchronous, we can add some more repeaters and just kind of like jam them on a random setting. And then if we stick a torch here, you'll notice that if we mess with these slightly, there we go. We want the lights to kind of flash out of sequence. And if we head back inside now, let's just break in. I think it'll be a bit easier this way. Then we have some nice flashing lighting. Now we can barely see, but this is a good view here. The only thing is it's quite bright in here otherwise because we have these torches and we do have like the glow item frames and stuff, but I think that you guys kind of get the vibe. So if we do want to kind of keep it dark in here, we can of course remove some of the additional lighting, but this is kind of what we're looking for right now. I really like this. You could even go just for one light as well and maybe stick it just like right in the middle. I think that this will still activate. Will it be about here? There we go. That's kind of cool, but I do think I prefer the 2 lights, but either way. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the entire build, 100% fully completed. However, this video is not over. We must now add our bar into our city. I would really love to place the bar in the new suburbs, but it doesn't really fit the vibe there. So instead, we will place it where it belongs, in the middle of the city. Next to our townhouses, it is going to form the corner. This does mean that we have to move the Apple Store, of course, but that's perfectly fine. I'm sure that we will find a much nicer home for it. But there we go, fantastic. I think that it's time that this area got a bit of a facelift. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do remember to subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to watch any more of my videos, check out the Mini City Builds playlist. And if you would like to download every single build in this city, consider becoming a channel member. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.